El hip hop en Cuba es muy cool, muy bueno, muy representativo. Nada que no tiene esa fama, but para mí es lo mejor.
My name is Garcia. That's me in the airport looking self-absorbed and stressed out, waiting to get on a plane. A plane that'll take me and my boys on a trip to Havana, Cuba. Sounds dope, right? Now let me explain why this is all stressing me out. See, ever since I was born in Miami, Florida, I've been immersed in Cuban culture. It's everywhere. The art, the food, the clubs, it's everywhere. But my family always warned me about going due to this man, Fidel Castro, the communist leader of Cuba for over 40 years now.
My name is DJ EFN. I'm executive producer of Crazy Hood Film Academy, and I have been waiting for this moment for over a decade. I knew that somehow, in some way, I would make my way to my parents' homeland. I decided not only was I going to Cuba, but we would film our entire experience while we were there.
So there it is. E has the idea, and it's like the think tank in my brain just opened. Step one, hit the streets and find out what people think about us going to Cuba in the first place.
What do I think about EFN and Garcia going to Cuba? I think, I'm happy for the homies. You know what I mean? Like,
you're gonna learn a lot about your roots and where you come from and the struggle that you haven't witnessed unless you've been there, you know what I mean? Because the struggle in Cuba is a little different than the struggle in Miami, you know what I mean?
I'm extremely proud of them because ever since I knew them, proud Cuban Americans, proud Cubans, but from what they heard from their parents and experiences their families went through, it kind of prevented them from ever visiting the land, you know what I mean?
When I spoke to EFN, I asked him had he ever been before. He said he never went, you know what I'm saying? And for him to be Cuban and never never gone home, I mean, it means something. It's a statement.
Especially when it comes to hip hop, like, they say a lot of things are born from nothing. So hip hop is there, man. You're gonna see what hip hop is, man. Especially being from Cuba, man. The struggle creates so many things, man. And you're gonna see that when you go to Cuba, E.
I just think that they're gonna get a whole lot of education and just a whole lot of pride, you know what I'm saying?
I hope they have a fantastic time and can experience some of the Cuba that I have been fortunate enough to experience.
What do you think about me going to Cuba?
I don't know.
What do you mean I don't know? Do you know where Cuba is?
No.
Do you know that you're Cuban?
No.
So if you're not Cuban, where are you from?
Miami.
He ain't got his boots. It's okay. Catch my second wind in a minute.
Eric's already getting a head start on what he wants in Cuba. He's like, I got my fetish popped.
He's like, I love cougars.
I like OGs.
The day starts normal, I guess. It's 5 a.m. Everybody's clowning everybody, having a good time.
We're gonna be looking out the window, and Garcia's bag is gonna look like zombies are all going. I think we're almost there, or not quite. The plane lands back in Opalaca Airport. It takes off and lands in Opalaca Airport, and they're like, "Welcome."
We're all dead tired, but we had to get to the airport 4 hours in advance because to get to Cuba, to get on that plane, the line is insane. Look at the luggage. Right there, what you're seeing, that's car tires, car bumpers, kitchen sinks, plasma televisions, clothes, food, you name it. But more on the luggage later. Trust me, it plays a factor. Right before we got on the plane, I got a chance to ask E what he was thinking.
I mean, I'm extremely excited about this trip. It almost feels like a generation gap between my family, presumably your family, and we're like the first ones to go back. And we're kind of like representing our families. And we're seeing something that our parents long to see, but for whatever reason, you know, they don't want to go or they can't go or they just haven't been able to go. So I'm excited for that part of it. And I'm also excited for the music side of it, to see what hip hop is like over there, meet the artists that have been creating music under, you know, the system, the way it is over there.
At this time, we're going to continue our boarding process with all passengers seated in rows 25 through 20. Once again, that's all passengers seated in rows 25 through 15. Please make your way to gate E33.
Walking through the terminal, I couldn't believe this was happening. We were actually going to Cuba. I know that might sound silly, but if you're Cuban or Cuban American, you can understand that we were raised to think that this island that's only 90 miles away might as well be across the globe. It's a forbidden place that we'll probably never see, at least till Castro was dead. I felt the weight of my family was on my back, like I was going, not only representing myself, but them as well.
Damas y caballeros, bienvenidos a la ciudad de La Habana.
That's crazy. All right, so we get to Cuba and we're all excited. We landed. Everybody's really happy. We're walking towards the terminal to get into Cuba.
We stared at people walking back and forth, screaming, fighting, picking tires and TVs, and for about 4 hours.
We're there, and you know, some of us grab one piece of luggage here, one piece of luggage there, but for the most part, Charlie, Drain, and Garcia were missing their luggage.
Excuse me. To give you a better understanding of what it's like to lose your luggage in Jose Marti Airport, I took this one shot. This is the only shot I was able to sneak inside that airport. They don't allow any cameras. You see all those people right there? All those people are looking for their luggage. All the luggage you see on the floor, that's luggage waiting to be recovered by somebody. Who? No one has any idea. So needless to say, when we walked out, we were slightly pissed off. Holy shit. We have just spent 6 hours to be told to come back tomorrow to get our luggage, because our luggage is still in Miami.
My fucking underwear's in that fucking luggage.
I'm just letting you know.
That means I'm wearing the same drawers for 36 hours.
Pause. I think.
It must smell like a Whopper with fucking cheese in my shit.
Pause. Again. Whatever. We are fucking here. Finally.
So after several hours, we finally getting out of this airport. I mean, I thought we were gonna spend the whole trip in this airport. We're finally here. We're finally in Cuba.
Drain, talk to me.
We in Cuba.
This is fucking bullshit.
This is crazy. This shit look like fucking a Hialeah bus station. Look at turn around. Look at this shit.
We're in Cuba, nigga. We're in Cuba, baby.
Glad to be here, man. Even though our fucking bags got held hostage, and that's fucked up. Air Cuba. But we'll get it tomorrow.
Air Cuba. So we leave the airport and immediately get split up into groups. Me, Eddie Angel, and Anonymous get put into one crib. EFN, Drain, and Charles, they get put down the block in another house. Eric Vasquez decided to crash at the nice house. Our house, the accommodations were kind of humble. This is Me, Eddie, and Anonymous's room.
What up? Slim, Solid.
We're all crashing in here because there's only one room with actual air conditioning. The toilet had no seat. The shower head only had a stream of water. I mean, we were in Cuba. What can I say? It wasn't the United States anymore.
Yeah, show him some back.
That shot was the truth, man.
That shit was dope. It's a stream. It was a streamer. It was like one little thing. We had a bucket.
We have 2 showers there.
Fuck y'all.
Y'all the hover shit yet?
We're in the projects. Oh yeah, for sure. I did the hover shit last night.
Does your toilet flush good?
No, I had a bucket up.
Bucket.
Yeah, I spent 20 minutes just prepping the bucket for me to take a shit.
You sure?
The next morning, we woke up to an incredible breakfast made for us by the owners of the home that we rented. I think it was at this breakfast that we all started agreeing how spoiled we were as Americans, at least when it came to plumbing. This is how you flush a toilet in Cuba. Okay, first things first. You grab a bucket. You go to your stream. You wait. You just wait. One second. If he finds out that I took a shit in his bathroom and I can't flush the toilet, he's gonna go crazy. And the shit ain't flushing, you know. So I gotta figure this out with this. Wasn't enough water. Me, Charlie, and Drain decided to go back to the airport and check if they had our luggage. It was around this time that E decided to start giving to the community.
So we all know the situation in Cuba, and we know that the people in Cuba are in need of a lot of things. Obviously, we couldn't take that much to Cuba, and we weren't necessarily going on a humanitarian mission, more of a cultural exchange mission, but we definitely didn't want to go empty-handed. MP3 player, y esto es un MP3 player, para oír música también.
No sé qué es lo que negas. Tengo que hablar con él.
¿Y a alguien le gustará una gorra?
Hay un señor que todos los días se pone gorra. Y es el constructor de gorra Santa Fe.
So while the guys were at the airport trying to get their luggage, I wanted to better acquaint our host with our music and our background and just give her some history about Crazy Hood and where we come from. So we sit down with Danai and we're I don't know why, I think we were going into her computer to find something and she's going through it and you could tell she's like a little embarrassed because she knows what we're used to or what she thinks we're used to.
Mira, aquí imagínense que ustedes o en cualquier lugar del mundo prácticamente la velocidad es de no sé cuántos kilohertz, ¿no? Sí. Ustedes pueden tener 200, 300 o hasta cuánto.
No, hasta 1000. Cable, eso es.
Sí. O hasta 1000. ¿Y tú sabes cuánto hay aquí?
Dale lo que me imagino.
No, 50 y qué.
¿Cuánto hay aquí?
No, aquí hay 28.
28.
28, entonces.
Pero en toda la isla.
En toda la isla, pero lo que tú te crees que toda la isla lo tiene, ay muchachos.
Very few people have it.
It was around this time that we got back from the airport. And needless to say, I was more than happy that we found our luggage. We figured now would be the best time to get on the roof and maybe start filming some footage for the first music video.
It's been a year getting sober, I'm still feeling withdrawals. I'd rather take a line and say fuck tomorrow, but that's the easy way out, and I'm no coward. I let my fans down, half of them turned sour. Could've died long ago, but it wasn't my time to go. Had so many deals, none of them really signable. Yes, I'm an artist, still highly regarded. Please believe I had the best intentions when I started. Now what I'm making off this paper better make me paper. Trust me, I'm a stable dog that'll make the world safer. I'm done trading favors, now it's only work for hire. And my strength is dying, come and show we all
Words
inspire.
cannot express what it felt like to be on top of that roof shooting that music video. Being Cuban, a lot of shit was going through my brain.
Live from the 70s.
It's like 1,000 degrees, yo. We started shooting coming home, and I never experienced heat like this in my life. It's hot as fuck outside.
You know, I rarely ever get, like, I rarely ever feel bad enough that I have to, like, stop working. Just because, like, I like to produce, and especially, like, being in Cuba, I like taking advantage of all the time. Like, you know, like, sleeping and resting is kind of like, I'll rest when I get back to Miami. But it was so hot, and it was just, like, it was so hot.
I was starting to get frustrated. We had been there a day and a half, and I hadn't found any Cuban hip-hop. At least that's what I thought. We got in the car, headed out to a pool party, and I realized it was sitting in front of my face the whole time.
It was a real spontaneous thing, man. I always have a beat in my head. I kind of was just vibing with it, you know, going with the surroundings, and beat came to my head like it does at every given moment. I'm always tapping on something. So beat came to my head, man. I was just going with it. Luckily, I had my backup, Eddie Angel, you know, help me with the beat, and then I just went off, man. She's amazing. It was pretty amazing because not only was she freestyling, she was freestyling and singing. Some of the stuff she was saying was incredible, to the point where I kind of had to stop listening to her and just continue with my beat, because when I would listen to her beat, I would go off beat because I'm just like blown away by half of the stuff she's saying.
Ahora vamos a improvisar. Buenas tardes, pero mi nombre es Dana. Yo estaba buscando, pensando en qué rapear, pero no encontré nada para este instrumental, porque mi hermano se me pierde en la fama. Yo lo que quiero es que su corazón me abra. Yo lo que quiero es que se me bañe en la piscina, para ver si se relaja, para ver si se respira. Si se respira un aire normal, porque este sol ahorita nos va a matar. Ahorita venimos de Santa Fe y regresamos para tomarnos un café. Yo lo que quiero es saber cómo está usted, compañero de la cámara, que bien se ve. Ya no me filmes más con tu lente. Yo solo quiero saber si tú me comprendes. Estoy encantada de enseñarte los dientes, y yo no sé si tú me entiendes, pero mira la cámara para ti, mijito, para que tú saquen ese documentalito. Yo quiero ver cómo te editas las cosas, para que sepa que las mujeres somos mariposas, que vuelan, que fly, pa descargar sobre el instrumental.
Everything was fun and games till the car broke down. We freaked out a little bit, but in 5 minutes we was on our way.
At the pool party, in attendance, was a who's who of the Cuban hip-hop scene. Artists such as Los Aldeanos, Omni Zona Franca, Silvito el Libre, Coquino, Egaro and Iraq Abdoble Filo, and many more were there. We took this time to speak to Iraq Abdoble Filo, who we've gotten to know from his many trips to the U.S.
Te diré que en los años 90 se aparecieron en los festivales de rap que se hacían en Alamar. Alamar, bueno, no sé si sabes, Alamar era la ciudad de hip hop en Cuba. Históricamente, yo creo que como está muy cerca del mar, está en la periferia, y la posibilidad de escuchar música que venía de la Florida, enriqueció un poco la posibilidad de conocer un poco la música americana. Y en la finales del 90 se apareció en Cuba un proyecto, una organización llamada Agosto Negro, que era producido y dirigido por gente que tenía que ver con la lucha un poco afro-norteamericana. Y ellos influenciaron mucho, contrayendo a Common, The Press, Tony Tosh, Erykah Badu.
Well, as a result of the Malcolm X grassroots organization and some of the revolutionary organizations in New York and Brooklyn, to be specific, organizing this festival called the Black August Commemoration, which basically is a celebration of the life of political prisoners, freedom fighters in America, namely Assata Shakur, who was a former Black Panther and found exile in Cuba during the 1970s. And the first thing that we wanted to do was to provide assistance and aid to Cuba, mainly because it, for many years, has had an assisting relationship with African people or black people around our issues with police and self-determination and oppression in America.
Yo creo que en esos años el rap tenía una influencia americana, pero la música más positiva, lo que de Public Enemy, no sé, de Run DMC, la música que dialogaba de la calle. O sea, no estábamos... Bueno, creo que el rap de Cuba ha mantenido eso, el texto como fuerza. Y bueno, aquí no hay industria... O sea, estos raperos que han aparecido en América, que llenos de dinero, bling bling, eso, en Cuba no lo vivimos. Entonces, por eso nuestros temas siempre son más sociales, hablar un poco de la realidad cubana, de la pobreza, del hambre, o la policía, o lo que sea. O sea, la polémica diaria del cubano. Y yo creo que eso ayudó mucho a que mucha gente en el mundo que conocen de rap cubano nos respeten por nuestros textos, por nuestra manera positiva de demostrar una vida, de enseñar a la gente por el camino que podemos conducir esta música. Y desgraciadamente aparecieron otros géneros en Cuba y muchos de esos raperos, por cuestiones de dinero, por cuestiones de... Claro, la vida es así. Decidieron cambiarse para reggaetón y hablar de otros temas. Pero los que lo hemos mantenido más de 10 años, todavía pensamos y soñamos con el hip hop de los inicios, de eso que vivimos en las películas americanas, la música que oímos de Miami, de New York. No sé, eso que vimos te digo, de Public Enemy, que para nosotros ha sido una escuela muy grande, porque eran temas muy polémicos en Cuba, en Estados Unidos, y aquí tú llevar también una música parecida era importante.
Fiestas y La Habana, un día más nos cae encima. Se abren puertas y ventanas manteniendo el mismo clima. Radio Reloj no cambia el lema. Everyday no come drama y no hay más nada, es así como nos llega. Esta mañana hago en el desayuno y yo me trago el ruido y el humo que viene de la ciudad. Apenas salgo a la calle.
Ya entrando el año 94, donde empiezan como en el segundo Mariel, que empiezan a irse mucha gente en Cuba, era como el periodo especial, que era una situación demasiado difícil. Obviamente las cosas empezaron a empeorar, ¿no? Pero la necesidad que había y la responsabilidad que había de explicarle al público, mayormente joven, lo que queríamos hacer, empezamos a hacerlo a través de amistades que vivían afuera y traían cassette lleno de background americano, donde con esos background ibas a un lugar y cantabas, por ejemplo, un background de Jay-Z, un background de Noriega mismo, un background de Jarrut, de cualquiera. El caso era hacerle una música dentro de esa canción, pero era cómico en el sentido que llegabas a un local una noche a rapear y habían 10 grupos con el mismo background. Entonces, el grupo que pegara esa canción se hacía como que el dueño del background. Era cómico, entonces de repente eran, no sé, una noche 20 grupos, pero había un background en una cara y el otro background en la otra. Cantabas un tema y tenías que rebobinar el background, el casete con el pullover o con un lápiz, entonces cantar la otra canción, pero la gente sentía mucho amor por el hip hop en aquel entonces y así es como nos hemos mantenido, y yo te puedo dar crédito de eso porque gracias a Dios soy uno de los primeros grupos de rap cubano, de la segunda época que fue en el 96.
Hip hop, no sé, en la finales de los 80, yo recuerdo que yo iba a algunas fiestas con amigos en la calle y yo recuerdo que en Cuba la gente tenían cable, ponían la grabadora en la calle, pero de pronto se convirtió en algo un poco comprometido porque la gente interfería en el tráfico. Entonces, cuando no había grabadoras ni música, lo que hacían eran palmadas. Pero escuchábamos mucha música de la antena, de lo que venía de Key West, o sea, con 97, no sé, wow, 925, no sé, todas esas cosas que decían que cogía uno de manera un poco difícil, cogíamos los percheros y hacíamos antenas, era algo loco.
Todo el silencio se va.
Nada, aquí Cuba siempre ha tenido, por la cercanía de los Estados Unidos, siempre ha tenido la influencia de la música muy rápido. A través de la interferencia entra a nuestras casas, o entraba a nuestras casas en aquel entonces por las emisoras de radio, y también clandestinamente veíamos Subtrain en aquel entonces, y así fue como empezó a crecer la cultura hip hop, que en un principio era por el baile, por los b-boys, que era lo que más se usaba en los años, a principios de los 90, finales de los 80. Y después, debido a estos mismos programas, estas mismas emisoras como High 97, esas cosas, empezamos a escuchar rap y empezamos a darnos cuenta que podíamos hacerlo y que teníamos la necesidad de compartir nuestras experiencias propias con la juventud cubana.
Te voy a decir bien clarito lo que tú no te sabías. Estamos en La Habana, desde La Habana hasta Miami, doble filo con García. Ay, Cuba, Miami, ay. Desde un inicio, que para mí lo más importante es expresar lo que en canciones y en letras, la realidad cubana, lo que vivimos, todo lo que tocamos, palpamos. Y nada, ¿qué te puedo decir? El hip hop cubano ha ido cambiando. Ha ido cambiando su manera de proyectarse, su manera de grabar, su manera de promocionarse. En un inicio esperábamos mucho por las instituciones, por las empresas, por alguna disquera, alguien que viniera del extranjero. En la actualidad ya lo hacemos en casa. No sé, no nos importa si a la disquera no le interesa el hip hop, lo que hacemos es grabarlo con más o menos un mini estudio, con micrófono más o menos, como decimos, a medio palo. Y así promocionamos las canciones de mano en mano y hemos alcanzado un nivel de cierta manera fuera de Cuba, de esa manera, de manera underground. En mi caso personal y de mi banda ya ha ido evolucionando, ya dejamos un poco el sample, ya tenemos una banda, mezclamos con música cubana, rock, funk, otros géneros. Yo creo que lo más importante de nosotros, aparte de la música, es expresar nuestra realidad, nuestra vivencia. Yo tengo 41 años, imagínate, ya lo que muchos jóvenes ahora están viviendo, ya yo viví en otro tiempo. Pero yo me mantengo, yo creo que estoy muy contento de que hay otras generaciones de rap diciendo cosas, porque en un inicio me recuerdo que me decían que yo estaba loco. Y si yo estoy loco, ¿cuántos locos no existen ahora? Porque ahora el rap ha alcanzado otro nivel. Y me gusta mucho que amigos como ustedes, que vengan de Miami, que vengan de otras partes del mundo, vengan a mezclarse, a conocer nuestro sabor, nuestras letras, nuestra vida. Y es más fácil, yo creo, que vivirlo así, que tener que contártelo por, no sé, por Univisión o cualquier televisora del mundo. Yo creo que es mejor palpar Cuba de aquí, desde adentro, desde la calle, desde el corazón, y no te lo cuenten las noticias. La noticia la vives tú y tú eres parte de esa noticia.
Cuenta cuántas veces hacemos desaparecer con solo una frase lo que no quisiéramos perder. Se nos va la vida, estamos dejando correr el tren con el amor que solo pasa una vez. Yo aprendí a no burlarme de nadie con arrogancia porque yo no sé cuáles serán.
Talking to Irak and Coquino and the rest of the B-boys, B-girls, and DJs we met at the party, we were starting to get a grasp of Cuba's hip-hop scene, past and present. It was important for us to get in the studio with these guys. I wanted to bridge the gap between us by doing the one thing we all loved, music.
Take it up. Take it up.
Take what? Take that.
Take that?
Oh, take that.
Take? Mother. Fucking.
There you go.
Hey, you're not doing the tongue.
Day 3 started a little different than day 2. For one, we had this guy show up at the house. Apparently he slept over, but we had no idea. He snuck in. His name, Amaury. Well, we named him Zombie. I asked everybody to try to describe him in one word. Here's what I got.
One word?
One word.
Can I have 3 words? I would like to say out of control.
Interesting.
Zombie-rific.
We are
Hip-hop.
insane. It's alright though.
I know we sound like dicks the way we're describing Zombie, but how would you feel if you woke up and found that guy in your house? Crazy as all hell. But come to find out, everybody we were with knew him, and he became our best friend on the trip.
Te voy a explicar eso después.
Hey, you look at that? You look at? Yeah.
Don't do that. Oh. He's gonna make little hurt.
But do the tongue dance,
Make
man.
Hurt smoke with you.
The tongue dance.
I love how he looks at him. Look at us.
I play with the fire.
Oh, fire boy.
The fire boy.
You flaming.
The fire boy, no. He say me, all the people say me, the zombie.
Zombie! I open the door and there he is, El Zombie.
Selvato.
Zombie, dude. Let dance.
Hey, listen. Listen to that.
We have to listen to what we see.
Listen to that.
It's gonna make you turn into stone, yeah.
Motherfucker, boy.
¿Y tú haces música también o no?
Sí. Sí, dance too.
You dance?
Dance.
No jodas.
Sí, jo. Si eres guapo, eres sato. Y para el loquito, eres carne fresca. Ahora estoy saliendo del lodo, no te hagas el guapo, yo no creo el lobo me oye. Estoy rapeando claro, si no te gusta no te pongas bravo, que raro. ¿En dónde está tu pandilla? Porque este solo es una pesadilla, prepárate. En mi adentro profundo, con mi piquete de zombie para el mundo como yo. No verás ni a uno, a los mejores me lo desayuno, no hay uno que porte navaja, quieres Leo, entonces baja, por eso yo no le temo a nadie, no vaya a ser que tengas un desaire y al aire lanzo un grito de guerra, te veo alterado, mi mente se encierra, la delincuencia. Allá en mi zona crece, te lo advierto, brother, no hagas algo que te pese. Hoy cazaste un chardo y lo mataste. Mañana click, crack, boom, te lo buscaste.
One of the things that I noticed immediately when I got here was the difference between our society in the States and here is the sense of community that people have here within the neighborhood, within the industries that they're in, whether it be music or art or whatever. But the question I always had looming in the back of my head, because I kind of knew about this through documentaries and through talking with people, is that because of the political situation? Is it because of the embargo? Is it out of necessity that there is that sense of community? What would happen if that wasn't here? But, you know, that's not the case right now. That's where Cuba is at right now. And the difference is night and day, how people come together to help each other, to work with each other. They seem to be, for the most part, very polite with each other, and it just seems like just a huge sense of community that I haven't seen in the States, not in my lifetime. So that's the biggest difference I've noticed so far. So the house we're staying with a family, and it's a two-story home, and they're in the second story, and we barely ever saw the family, the entire family, the mom, the dad, the kids, except there was the son. He was basically the ambassador to the family in dealing with us because he spoke English.
Sorry about English mistakes. No.
You speak it better than tú hablas más mejor que gente en los Estados Unidos.
Are you sure?
Young kid, about 21 years old. He was actually serving in the military, which is mandatory at a certain age in Cuba. And real cool dude, and trust me, he was real cool and patient because with our characters in that house, he had to be very patient.
Nah, I don't talk slang. You want to talk slang? You know what is the meaning of slang?
No, I don't know.
You don't know what is the meaning of the street. The street, the motherfucking street. The language of the motherfucking street. I have it. I'm a Cuban too. Now igual que tú. I'm going to you. Okay, give me your English. And I give you my slang.
Charlie was acting crazy, drained, little mercy, I don't know. It was just nuts for the poor kid. I was always finding myself apologizing to him in Spanglish. So the second day we're there, he's telling, I'm interacting with him, I'm talking to him about what he does, and he's telling me about the military, he's telling me about school. He's in school and he does art. And I don't know, he just starts showing art. I don't know if it was to Eddie Angel or to me.
Siempre me ha gustado ver el trabajo realizado desde el punto de vista técnico y es en lo que me especializo. Entonces, independientemente de este trabajo, que es una línea un poquitico más conceptual, también hago ya trabajo académico como retratos, figura humana, paisajes, etc. Eso es lo que hago.
Y para coger materiales y eso,
materiales
coger trabajo,
se hace un poco difícil porque el problema de los materiales es que entran muy poco y cuando entran son bastante, caros, ¿no? Expensive para conseguirlos. Sí. Y entonces es así, cuando vendes, compras un poco de materiales y así siempre tienes que estar bien ajustado. Hay veces tienes el dinero y no están los materiales, eso es, pero bueno, se puede hacer, siempre se consigue.
Este tipo es es una película de cubanos en los 80 en Miami, de drogueros, de que se vende drogas. Es un, ¿cómo dice gangster en Spanish?
Mafioso.
Mafioso, de Cuba. Ese es Al Pacino, ¿tú conoces a Al Pacino?
No, te digo, que yo cogí, lo compré y no.
Ese camisa para los cubanos Miami es oro.
Hey guys, let's go, guys.
Oro. That 4-second combo right there made me realize how different the Cubans born in the States are from the Cubans born on the island. We knew nothing about each other. It was a crazy cultural disconnect. We needed to learn more. And I was about to get a huge lesson of what it's like to record in Cuba, because we were on our way to Real 70.
Yeah, Club Soda.
No, cuando nosotros estuvimos allá, eso fue una locura.
Eso ahí, yo me recuerdo. Que había la protesta, ¿viste la protesta?
Sí, la protesta fuera del concierto y eso.
Y nosotros estábamos supuestos a ir en... ¿Ustedes fueron a hacer algo en televisión allá?
Sí. Yeah, that's good.
Ahora tuvimos el programa Alessi Valdés, tuvimos Bobaraz, tuvimos una pila de...
What's up? No. Call a little liquor out of memory, bro.
So you could just drink in cars here, no matter.
According to him. Holla. So when we got to Cuba, we were asking people around, we wanted to meet the top hip hop artists. We wanted to go to the whatever legendary studios they had. And they had been, a lot of people had been telling us from the first day we got there, Real 70, you need to go there. And the way they were talking about it made me feel the way people used to talk about D&D studios in New York. So we were like, yeah, not only do we want to meet those people, we want to record in that studio. We want to be immersed in Cuban hip hop culture, the real Cuban hip hop culture. So we go to this place, which is pretty far from where we were at in Santa Fe, and it was in, I would say, the mountains. Maybe to them it's just a large hill, but shit was high as fuck. And we go into this little neighborhood up in the mountains, and there's goats and chickens running around, and there's this little house, and I'm like, this is where there's a studio. I mean, I know there's hood studios. I didn't even think there was a music studio in this place. We go in this little back room, and they got a little Pro Tools setup with a microphone, but you could feel the energy in that little room. You could tell that they had recorded their legends in there, and we wanted to, it felt right.
Like a lamb to the slaughter, feeling like a martyr, trying to feed my daughter. We some midnight marauders. See, nothing's been given, that's why I'm staying driven. Like trying to make a living for me's been forbidden. Hit 90 miles from home just to clarify my vision. I send my whole family, that was my decision. Gives a fuck about the politics, trying to find my culture and murder any beat and leave the carcass for the vultures. Real 70, boy, they changing how you thinking. I put that on my people in the rum that we drinking. We kings amongst kings, our tongues hold no lies. In a Game of Thrones, so what's dead may never die, motherfucker.
That day in Real 70, it was a legendary day. It was a day that I guess you could say had been a long time in the making. When I finally got to see Garcia spit in Real 70 in Havana, Cuba, for me it was a real special moment, something that we've been working on maybe for the last 2 or 3 years. It was a real dope moment. It was a very cool moment to be a part of, and I think it was a very important moment in breaking grounds and in putting something together that's going to be very, very special.
Para guerrear, química descomunal, mística trascendental, activado el falla. Sí, el beat no falla.
Mi nombre es Danae Suárez. No me siento una artista solo del movimiento de hip hop, pero porque me gusta el jazz, me gustan muchos géneros, tengo una carrera como cantante, pero conozco muy bien el movimiento de rap porque vengo de ahí y uno no se puede olvidar nunca de dónde viene, lo respeto mucho, pero valoro que cualquier género musical que se defienda con una integridad, una sinceridad y que aporte positivamente al ser humano, cualquier género que haga esto es importante, ¿no?
Me pongo repa, muchos me conocen bien. Wow, mi flow sella la etiqueta. Hago hip hop pa' que los raperos sepan que si se van del libreto busco contar a galleta. Lo siento, el alcohol me pone bruto. Ganja, euforia, ta bailar en también.
It was around this point in time that I realized that EFN, Big Drain, Anonymous, and Charles all left me and Eddie Angel alone. They were gone for like 3 hours. Keep in mind, we didn't know anybody.
All right, so we had been at the studio for a while, Real 70, and we went to the corner store in the neighborhood in Tarara. And we've been there a few times. We hadn't eaten all day. I was talking to Drain. I said, Drain, man, I gotta get some food. He says there's no food. I'm like, I'm telling you, if we go this one last time, we're gonna get some food.
There was literally no food in this neighborhood. Like they had like a little corner store, whatever like that, where you had like a little, I guess, household items, and then obviously they had the rum and the beer and stuff like that. So me and Anonymous, we walking through the neighborhood or whatever like that, and we starving. At this point, like the session's running longer than when we thought it would.
So we go back, and earlier that day I'd actually met this girl in the neighborhood, and she was real cool. But real sweet girl, whatever. So I run into her outside the store, and I said, "Listen, man." And she's like, "What's wrong?" I'm like, "I'm starving. We haven't eaten anything." She goes, "Well, you know," I said, well, "The only thing they got is spaghetti." And she's like, "Well, I can make spaghetti." At first, I thought she was joking, so I said, "All right, cool." So I bought her 2 packs of spaghetti, one for her family, one for us. I told Drain, "Let's go." She said, "Come back in 45 minutes, and I'll have it ready." And
then like 45 minutes pass, we still popping shit, whatever. And then she comes out. She comes from the back, like some like corridor or some hall, like something, you know. So she's like, "Hey, the food's gonna be ready soon." So we're like, "All right, cool, bet." So 5 minutes after that, she comes out, she gets us, and then she takes us to her house. Well, it was like a house, because it's like the hood, you know what I'm saying? And we go through this like, I guess, this like alleyway type thing, and like it's just fucked up. It's like hood, like shantytown, like tin roofs. It's dark as shit back there. And the illest shit was, as soon as we like get inside, she had like 3 like plates set up. She had the cups, she had the dishes out, everything. And you know, she basically invited us in her house, you know what I'm saying, for a meal, you know.
I'm here with E, just in some random house. Yo, this is cool, this is Cuba, man. This is random, man, but I love it.
Her best friend was there, and the moms came out. She was like half blind or something like that, and they talking whatever like that. But it was like a great experience for her, like somebody, like a stranger off the street, you know, to invite you into their home, you know, and cook for you at that.
Real stuff, huh? You like it? Super real stuff. Good food, man. Good people, man.
So while EFN and the guys were having their dinner down the block, I decided to catch up with the person who created Real 70, Un Petico.
¿Cómo empezaste el Real 70?
Brother, el Real 70 se fundó en el 2001. Nació de la necesidad de los raperos cubanos de tener un espacio donde grabar, donde producir los beats. Desde el 2001 a los inicios del rap cubano, que fueron en 93, 92, 93, no había un lugar o no había gente que se dedicara a la producción musical ni a la grabación. O sea, a la producción musical y a la grabación profesionalmente. Eran gente que, los pocos que se dedicaban eran gente que no tenían nada que ver con rap y pues cobraban precios demasiado altos para un rapero cubano en ese momento. Y yo pues en el 2001 primeramente para satisfacer una necesidad propia decidí hacerlo pues yo mismo, tomar las armas por mis manos y crear Real 70.
Ya, yo salgo para la calle, que no ensaye, meto mi disparo solo. Yo vivo de detalle, no hay que me vasalle, no cae el rayo el toro. Yo vengo de la vista, blanco fuera vista, no hay que me resista, lloro.
You know the crazy shit that trips me out that I saw like 2 ambulances already. Oh, but these niggas don't have phones. So it's like, how do you call 911 if you hurt yourself?
Smoke signals.
Cell phone.
The streets are talking.
They don't have cell phones.
They do have cell phones.
Not many, man. They're like prepaid. If you run out of minutes, you're screwed.
Quítense las vendas, atiendan, que terminamos ya con toda esta jodienda.
Dame un piñazo cuando...
Mercy. G. The number is 533-25632.
He's on the phone with the travel agent because he lost the visa. We don't know if he's moving to Cuba or if he came home for real, and now it's his new home because EFN lost his visa, which is odd because he's usually the most organized guy.
Anybody going to a communist country or any country, third world country for that matter, you want to make sure that you have your proof of American citizenship or country of origin that you're coming from. So we were told, keep your passport on you at all times. In case we get stopped by the military or by police, we could say, hey, we're tourists, we're American citizens, you know, we're cool. So I had my passport on me the whole time, and in my passport I kept my visa that allows you to enter and leave the country. I wanted to keep it all together. Apparently, I guess in moving around my visa from my pockets at one point, I must have dropped my visa.
What the fuck am I gonna do then? What the fuck am I gonna do now? Please, get this fucking camera on my face.
I got a little nervous.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, bye. All right, bye.
I don't know, bro. She said I might have to get a Cuban citizenship.
What?
Actually, I'm more than nervous. I might have to stay in Cuba a little bit longer than I anticipated.
Just got word that Dania, the nice mom, has resolved it all, has resolved Mr. EFN's visa problem, meaning that he lost it, and he wasn't going to be able to leave the country. She went out, hustled, did her thing, and now she's going to be able to resolve it, and he's going to be able to go back home. And his next mixtape won't have to come out of Cuba. And that's all for right now.
Soy lo mejor de acá, con los peces de allá.
Oye, ¿por qué todo el mundo aquí en la isla de Cuba se encanta la canción Gangsta's Paradise?
Porque es una canción de la vieja escuela, de old school. Y nada, que cuando esa canción estaba acá, cuando llegó acá, fue para quedarse. Y lo que se usaba en ese momento, como se usa ahora el reggaetón, como estaba de moda ahora el reggaetón, lo que se usaba en ese tiempo era, se le dice moña. A hip hop en Cuba se le dice moña.
¿Tú conoces Tyler, the Creator?
No.
¿Todavía no?
I know Talib Kweli.
¿Talib Kweli? ¿Cuál es la canción que tú tomas de Talib Kweli? No wanna get high. No. I woke up this morning.
1, 2, 3, most definitely Talib Kweli. Niggas rocking on TikTok.
Specializing in hip hop. Y-O. 1, 2, 3.
Blood stars in the show on me. Niggas rocking on TikTok.
On our last day in Cuba, we felt the need to hit the streets of Old Havana and see what was really going on. Right now we're in Old Havana. We're walking through what looks like a flea market. It's weird. It's like the whole place is just set up for hustling. It's real fucking crazy, man. To be honest with you, I mean, everybody's real peaceful. Everybody's real kind, but everybody's really hungry out here. Crazy, man. You know, everything started off for the right reasons and just went down the wrong path. You know, people come in with big dreams and just get them broken all day, every day. Shattered dreams. To give you a better example of how hungry people are in the streets of Havana, take a look at this guy talking to Eddie Angel, telling Eddie Angel he has a better deal on Cuban cigars than what was available to us in the stores. So we decided to go along and check out what he had to offer.
Aquí sue ahí mismo, yo tengo aquí sue, tengo esa gente ahí.
Este es el Montecristo del Che Guevara, mira, aquí es a mejor precio. Cohiba de Fidel Castro, Romeo y Julieta, que es tabaco del amor. Aquí ustedes compran y compran a mejor precio, original de fábrica.
Is that normal? People take them to their homes and...
Very normal. Especially when they're trying to make a living any which way they can. Hustling tobaccos, hustling rum, hustling whatever it is they can hustle just to make $1, just to get by for a day. It's very normal, especially in this part of Havana, which is old Havana.
How do they get the cigars?
Black markets. They know somebody that may work in a cigar factory that sneaks them out, that they may steal them, they may bring the product home and then make them here, and basically like that. They basically fall off the back of the truck, as we say back home.
Yo, right in here was the invention of the mojito. So yeah, I'm gonna drink one.
¿Qué culpa tengo yo que otros amores me arrancan de tus labios los traidores? ¿Qué culpa tengo yo de amarte tanto si fue tu boca que me enseñó? En un beso la vida y en tus brazos la muerte.
Yo, this is like surreal. Tell them how historic this place is.
This is probably one of the most historical places that you'll find on the whole island. Everybody's been here. Hemingway, Benicio del Toro, DiCaprio. I mean, just anybody and anybody that big dude comes to this spot. This is the one place you gotta come visit. They built one in Miami, but it's a total copycat and it's not even nowhere near the same thing. And the big thing here is that if you come through here, you gotta sign your name on the walls, as you can see all around us. This right here is history, legendary.
How did you feel they treated you, being that they knew you didn't know Spanish and you really weren't from there?
Man, they treat you like you're their best friend in the whole world, man. It's like almost like you're related to them. They start kissing you on your cheek and want to give you 1,000 daps and ask you many questions. You know, it's definitely something you don't really get in Miami too much. You know, here when you say you're somebody's people, you know, it really goes a long way. Versus, you know, Miami, you can say, oh, that's my dog, but you know, it might not really be that loyalty there. Here, man, as soon as somebody vouches for you, you might as well just move into the house. Actually, you pretty much can move into their house. There's been a dude that's been staying at somebody's house for like almost the whole trip we've been here, and he don't even live there. So it's pretty much how it is, man. It's pretty neat.
After a long day in Old Havana, we started to make our way back to Santa Fe. Denai and her mom were planning a get-together with some of the other hip-hop artists in Cuba.
Like, I think it was one of the last nights, and we was just messing around. We said, you know, we're gonna go out, we're gonna chill at the crib. And I gave him my iPad and stuff, and I got this beat application, iMachine, on there. Yo, Denai literally picked that shit up in like 5 minutes. Okay. She got on there and she started freaking beats and shit like that. She picks up on things mad quick, you know what I'm saying? And I can tell that through her artistry, her music and everything like that. Like, she's like an excellent super talent. She has what it takes to be like an international superstar. There's no doubt in my mind.
Did you get the other battery?
No nos permiten cantar en Cuba, fundamentalmente creo que por la intensidad y la profundidad de lo que cantamos, ¿no? Nosotros somos raperos absolutamente contestatarios, o en casi todos los aspectos contestatarios. Somos muy críticos de la sociedad y el sistema. Tenemos un discurso literalmente antisistémico y entramos en contradicción con las normas gubernamentales, con las normas del gobierno. Y como el gobierno lo controla absolutamente todo, entonces en sus espacios públicos no podemos cantar, en sus instituciones no podemos estar, y se crea esa situación un poco complicada que va para la censura, ¿no? Pero nada, nosotros seguimos resistiendo y trabajando, aunque el Estado, el gobierno, el sistema, en fin, no nos deje abiertamente cantar ni conectarnos con nuestros hermanos y nuestro público, a la gente que le cantamos todos los días, ¿no?
Qué risa me da.
Qué risa.
Tuvieron un sueño y ahí lo tienen.
Y tú, mamá. Qué cosa la costurera.
So while Zombie was doing what he does best, we got a chance to show Hardell some of our music. Here's what he thought.
A ver, lo primero que pienso es que lo que me mostraron ahí de esos grupos, para mí está perfecto. Creo que es un hip hop con el que yo me entiendo muy bien, ¿no? Un hip hop bastante consciente, bastante real, a estilo de los 90, que se va, ¿no? Y para mí eso es importante porque de alguna manera eso es lo que hacemos nosotros aquí. Y segundo, que esa conexión entre ellos y nosotros, como decía ahorita, Es un mismo sentimiento. Son dos lugares, dos pedazos de tierra separados, pero es un mismo sentimiento, una misma bandera, es una misma patria. Entonces creo que es sumamente vital e importante hacer esa conexión. Entender esas dos realidades, conectarlas y hacerlas una sola es perfecto. Y también lo necesario de romper ese tipo de divisiones que existieron hasta hace muy poco, ¿entiendes? Divisiones mentales arrastradas por un pasado contado de una manera bastante complicada, ¿entiendes? Pero creo que es el momento de romper esas barreras, acabar con eso y tener una unión. Aunque pensemos diferente en un momento determinado, pero unirnos en torno a las semejanzas y no a esas diferencias, ¿entiendes? Y empezar a respirar ese aire de familia, ese aire de unión, ¿verdad? Y yo creo que en ese punto es muy interesante y bastante positivo para todos, para nuestros hermanos allá y para los hermanos aquí, porque es la manera que nos da de seguir avanzando en el camino, y no solo seguir avanzando, sino construir y crear ese camino para poder avanzar y crear lo que todos esperamos y lo que estamos tratando de hacer con el mensaje de Hip Hop, ¿no? Yo creo que es elemental esa unión y esa conexión. Ojalá que Dios la bendiga y que se siga realizando, y ahora más fuerte que nunca. Es otra generación, brother. Es otra generación con otro discurso, con otro código, con otros mensajes y con una necesidad espiritual de conexión que eso no la puede cambiar nadie por lo que haya pasado. La historia está ahí, pero la historia está ahí para cambiarla, brother.
I'm a one. He one too. My one, he have it.
Well, how you getting started right now?
Lo mío es amor, paz, fe, hip hop, que ha cambiado mi vida, ha cambiado la vida de 1 millón de personas que lloran con nuestras canciones, que las sienten, que se identifican y que saben que de alguna manera el futuro urbano de esa transformación espiritual somos nosotros a través del discurso de hip hop. Bendiciones para los hermanos allá, los aquí. Un solo sentimiento y que Dios nos bendiga, creo.
A lot of the things I keep finding myself discussing with people about our trip to Cuba is, whether it's the Cuban American that talks about, all the negative things about Cuba and why we shouldn't have gone, or they're challenging me on the things that we didn't see. I can only talk about the experience I had when I went there, the things that I saw, and I'm not trying to get political and I'm not trying to dive into those things because that muddies my experience. It's nothing like it's been explained to me it should be like. I want to inspire people to go to Cuba, especially Cuban Americans. Don't let yourself be guided by what other people tell you. Because the same people who are mad about Cuba being a communist country and not being free are trying to hinder your freedom to have your own ideas. So go over there, because maybe us going over there, this new generation, we could change things by dealing with the people.
For so long, I was out in the cold, and I taught myself to believe every story I told. It was fun hanging under the moon, heading into the sun, but it's been too long, now I wanna come home.
It's been a year getting sober, still feeling withdrawals. I'd rather take a line and say fuck tomorrow, but that's the easy way out, and I'm no coward. I let my fans down, half of them turned sour. Could've died long ago, but it wasn't my time to go. Had so many deals, none of them really signable. Guess I'm an artist, still highly regarded. Please believe I had the best intentions when I started. Now what I'm reading off this paper better make me paper. Trust me, I'm a stable dog, it'll make the world safer. I'm done trading favors, now it's only work for hire. Plus my strength is dire, come up short, we all expire. See, I'm fucking tired, I ain't slept in 6 days. God rested on Sunday, I ain't taking sick days. Plus my mind works in a sick way. You couldn't believe half the shit I think. Call it replay.
And I tested my willpower, 25th hour, nothing left to devour. Only 5'9", still somehow I tower. Dirty motherfucker on the mic, no showers.
Now, what the fuck you said? I'ma send my rhyme book, tell me how the fuck you read. Coming off the beaten path, cause I've been misled. Salivating at the mouth, I ain't take my meds. So mic check 1, 2, live from this padded room, man, I'm speaking to you, seeping it through. Some don't want me speaking to you, but there's a crack up in the system, so I'm seeping it through.